I'm just kind of ready for the next chapter and a new challenge in my life, but I think the reason I decided to announce it when I did was just to have that close.
Caitlin Clark has completely upended the basketball world by declining the WNBA spotlight in order to pursue an incredible contract elsewhere. The media is in disarray, league executives are in a panic, and fans are in disbelief. Nobody anticipated that the Golden Girl of American hoops would leave for Europe after shattering records and making headlines, but the deal was too good to refuse. What implications does this have for women's basketball going forward? Furthermore, why is the WNBA now left to pick up the pieces? Let's explore the entire tale. The tempest without a word, Caitlin Clark ignited. It didn't take a press conference for Caitlin Clark to completely upend the sports industry. The WNBA is suddenly holding its breath after one silent move and one offer whispered across the Atlantic. She has broken rookie records, attracted sold-out crowds, and elevated every Indiana Fever game to a nationally broadcast event for months. However, something has changed that is unrelated to what occurs on the court. She was a collegiate icon when she entered the league, but her subsequent actions have been nothing short of revolutionary. Her deep threes and no-look passes are a movement rather than merely highlights. The children imitate her step-backs on the playground. Within minutes, her jerseys disappear from the shelves. Whenever she reaches the half-court, supporters stand up and defenders fear. However, beneath the cheers, tension is rising as even her teammates start to question how long she plans to stay. There are other factors besides a higher salary abroad that are causing the doubt. It's the growing fissures in a structure that was never intended to hold up a celebrity like her. Not only did Caitlin improve the game, she exposed its limitations. A billion-dollar broadcast rights agreement is imminent, and the WNBA structure is being scrutinized more than ever due to its low pay and much more lucrative international arrangements. This raises a question that the league can no longer ignore. Can it really continue to attract the kind of talent it is starting to attract? People close to her maintain that issue goes beyond money. Being noticed, appreciated, and taken seriously are all important. There may be more to the rumors of a European offer than just a transfer. They denote a change, a declaration, or perhaps a subdued revolution. Because the message extends well beyond a single locker room when someone like Caitlin even entertains the idea of leaving. She has already changed the rules, whether she remains or not. She set a standard just by playing her game, and now everyone is responding to it: the league, the fans, the media. Caitlin Clark has gone beyond being a budding star as a result of this. She has turned into a reflection of a league that must change, even if it isn't ready. Could Caitlin Clark's silent departure, however, ultimately make the WNBA face the standards she established? Watch this space to discover out. Caitlin Clark's tactic that might cause the WNBA to collapse. Although the WNBA may have anticipated this, they were unprepared for the consequences. Nobody was prepared for the step that Caitlin Clark, the rookie who made women's basketball unavoidable, just took. Abruptly, the league finds itself in a state of confusion. Because this player isn't merely looking into options abroad. This storm is the result of years of cruelty, disregard, and lost chances. It's here now. Clark wasn't only joining a team when she first joined the league. She was bringing the WNBA as a whole into the public eye. Overnight, her presence changed the Indiana Fever. Sales of tickets skyrocketed. TV viewership skyrocketed. Additionally, the women's game was being observed and followed for the first time in years. Her photos from the logo quickly went viral on social media. Little girls across got a new role model as her jerseys sold out in a matter of hours. However, something more sinister was simmering behind all the cheers and attention. For a celebrity like her, the league was largely unprepared. Some players, and even some analysts, seemed more interested in discrediting her than in honoring her. Clark swiftly became a lightning rod due to his unrelenting violent style on the court and his continuous online criticism. Not because she started a dispute, but rather because of the attention she garnered. What action did the WNBA take? Not much. The boundaries of violence were frequently crossed by opposing players who frequently ventured into hazardous terrain. And people watched it happen unchallenged game after game. Many people think this was more than just carelessness. There are many who argue that the league viewed the drama as profitable. After all, a little mayhem attracts attention and clicks. Clark, however, didn't think it made the news. Her well-being, tranquility, and dignity were at stake. Her followers raised their voices, crowded social media, and called for reform. However, the officials' constant silence was deafening. It became impossible to overlook the bigger problem after the Olympic snub occurred, when Clark was excluded even though he outperformed several of the guards who made the squad. It was more than simply statistics. It concerned a system that, despite her contributions to its advancement, never truly accepted her. There was a message. Caitlin is now returning one. The reports of a huge offer from Europe are no longer unfounded. They are the most obvious indication to yet that Clark is prepared for a new phase of his life. One in which she is recognized, cherished, and shielded for everything that she contributes to the game. She isn't running. She's not running away. After learning that the league she helped boost wasn't willing to help her back, she is making the decision to go it alone. Caitlin Clark has turned the tide, whether the WNBA anticipated it or not, and the fallout will be felt well beyond Indiana. The league's leadership is facing an inevitable reckoning, fans are incensed, and analysts are divided. It's possible that the most significant rookie in recent memory is leaving, and all the WNBA has worked to create might be destroyed by that departure. The WNBA's wake-up call: the price of losing Caitlin Clark. Let's not act as though this won't cause pain. The WNBA is about to undergo a significant upheaval, and Caitlin Clark is the only name that matters. The game was elevated by her participation, but it also entered a new age. If Clark was on the floor, you were watching, regardless of whether you were an avid basketball fan or were only interested in the news. She was more than just another celebrity. The star was her. Why many even gave a damn. Something changed as soon as she took the stage for the first time. Suddenly, the Indiana Fever, a team that had previously battled for national recognition, were hosting games at rival facilities that were crowded with Clark supporters. Tickets were sold just by her name. She transformed routine games into must-see events with her daring logo threes, no-look passes, and unwavering drive. However, the WNBA misjudged the extent of the Caitlin Clark impact. The 2024 draft had an increase in viewership of more than 400%. Additionally, regular season game attendance skyrocketed. Products were flying off the shelves. Then came sponsorships. Clark created the kind of momentum the league had not experienced in years in a matter of weeks. She delivered in 5 games what may have taken 5 years to build. But in spite of everything, the league did not take the one crucial action to keep her safe. Fans noticed that Clark was frequently left on her own as disrespect and aggressive play increased. With supporters demanding safety and justice, social media became a battlefield. However, the league's silence was quite telling. Europe has now intervened with an offer that is too excellent to pass up. According to rumors, Clark may receive an incredible offer that the WNBA wouldn't. Respect, encouragement, and payment that is commensurate with her actual worth. It's also obvious that the gap left by Clark's departure won't be easily filled, even though other up-and-coming talents like Angel Ree and Bishop Farr are still making an impression. The WNBA ran the risk of losing not just a player, but the player who made all the difference. One question still stands as the league prepares for what will happen next. What specific promises did Europe make to Caitlin Clark that America would not fulfill? Watch to learn about the change that might permanently alter women's basketball. The statistics being flung around would make anyone stop dead in their tracks. According to a number of sources, Caitlin Clark has received an offer of a deal so big that it dwarfs any offer the WNBA has ever made. However, this goes beyond pay. It has to do with worth. It has to do with vision. It's about respect above anything else. The athlete who made women's basketball a cultural phenomenon on his own, Clark, is now presented with a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity overseas. She appears to be prepared to accept it as well. Athletes of Clark's caliber are more than just players abroad. They are icons, especially in the EuroLeague. The facilities are designed to showcase their abilities, safeguard their health, and promote them as global celebrities. That's the treatment Caitlin is receiving from Europe. Better compensation is only one part of the package. Stronger support networks, more downtime, fewer games, and the full might of a league eager to boost her profile internationally. Picture the lights in crowded stadia across Europe going down. Camera flashes and chanting fans. This time, it's for the league's face as well as for a player. Europe wants to crown Caitlin, not simply have her play. Given how stark the alternatives are, it seems like an inevitable move. Despite its recent expansion, the WNBA has fallen behind in safeguarding, promoting, and paying the athletes who are the driving force behind that growth. Clark's record-breaking debut year was more than just a sporting accomplishment. A commercial miracle occurred. She contributed to a 90% rise in ticket sales, a 180% increase in regular season attendance, and a draw.